With cannabis sales booming in Illinois, we started with a simple question. What's in your weed? Sun-Times reporters spent months analyzing thousands of laboratory results for failing weed, which were filed with the State Department of Agriculture. The most frequent case of failing weed? Too much yeast and mold. Experts told us pre-rolled joints can be vulnerable to such contamination.
Yeast and mold is probably the most famous around the country right now in the cannabis industry. It's the one test that a lot of people seem to have trouble with. Molds are spore-based. We're breathing in yeast right now. So if there's yeast in your air, there's going to be yeast on the product.
So we went shopping. We bought 10 samples at 8 dispensaries around Chicago and the suburbs. 9 were pre-rolls, 1 was fresh cannabis flower. We brought them to a state-approved cannabis testing lab for analysis, where the outside packaging was carefully opened and the samples dropped into the lab's sterile containers. Each sample was identified with a number and a letter. Here's what the lab found. 8 of the 9 pre-rolls tested above the state limits for at least one microbiological contaminant, such as yeast and mold, total viable aerobic bacteria, coliform bacteria, and bile-tolerant gram-negative bacteria. 4 tested above state limits for all of those. The fresh cannabis flower tested well under state limits for those contaminants. None of the 10 samples had detectable E. coli or salmonella, mycotoxins, or pesticide residue, and none of the samples exceeded state limits on heavy metals. Of special concern are a type of mold called aspergillus and mycotoxins, which are toxic compounds created by molds, neither of which were found in these tests.
Often, if I get a flower sample in here, more than likely it's going to have like a mold colony or 2 on it. That's just telling me that we have mold, but it's probably not aspergillus, because we're not seeing those mycotoxins come in.
We reached out to the Cannabis Business Association of Illinois for comment, and here's what we received. The safety and quality of cannabis products and the well-being of patients and consumers are top priorities of Illinois' medical and adult-use cannabis industry. The Cannabis Business Association of Illinois will continue to work with regulators and other key stakeholders on the continued development of testing standards to ensure consumers are protected and continue to enjoy the highest quality products.